Let's take a look at this Penn tennis balls scenario, which deals with operating cash flows. Penn tennis balls currently sells bright yellow tennis balls for $2.99 per container. They are considering selling bright green tennis balls too. The green tennis balls would sell for $3.99 per container, and the company expects to sell 120,000 containers per year. If they offer the green tennis balls, management feels that the sales of the yellow tennis balls will decline by 30,000 containers. Variable costs on the yellow tennis balls are $1.20 per container and $1.65 per container on the green tennis balls. The incremental annual fixed cost related to the green tennis balls are $110,000, and the incremental annual depreciation related to the green tennis balls is $40,000. The tax rate is 34%. What is the projected operating cash flow for this project? Okay, now to save time, I've worked this ahead of time. So I think the first two things we want to do, and I'll bring this to light here, is drop in the volume of the green tennis balls in the yellow tennis balls. So let's drop that one in, which is 120,000 for the green. And then we would lose 30,000 on an incremental basis for the yellow. Okay, then we want to drop in the contribution margin per container for green and contribution margin per container for yellow. And how we calculate that, I'll drop in the answers here, and I'll highlight how we can calculate that. We would take, for the green tennis balls, the $3.99 selling price less the $1.65 variable cost per container. And we would do the exact same thing for the yellow tennis balls, except the selling price is lower, and so are the variable costs. So what we see is we've got a contribution margin container of the green tennis balls of $2.34 and $1.79 of the yellow ones, which of course we're going to get a cannibalization or a substitution effect. So the next thing I want to do is bring the next piece of information to the screen, which is to calculate the incremental contribution margin expected. And how we do that is we multiply the 120,000 units times the $2.34 contribution margin for green tennis balls, and then we multiply the negative 30,000 units times the $1.79, so that we get, if you will, a netting effect. And now you can either see the formula down here or look up on the formula bar, and you can also see where I pulled that information from. Okay, once we have the incremental contribution margin expected, we would generate the incremental fixed cost, and that's given in the problem as 110,000. Then we would jot down the incremental depreciation on the yellow tennis balls. Oh, by the way, this should say green. Sorry. Let me correct that there. Because we're considering introducing the green tennis balls, not the yellow. So let me make this say green. And hopefully up above it, yeah, it commented the 110 and 40 related to the green tennis balls. So if I jot that information in, then I can come up with incremental operating profit. Now at this point, I probably want to maybe underline this so we can see that we're actually doing a calculation here. So we've got an incremental operating profit of 77,000. The next thing we want to consider is the incremental taxes. And if we multiply the incremental profit of 77,400 times 34%, we come up with the amount of taxes. We underline that, and we can calculate an incremental income after taxes. So all of that is simply the 77,100 of incremental operating profit less the 35% taxes. Okay. Now, the next item we want to show is the add back of non-cash items, and that would be the depreciation of 40,000. And once we jot that down, we can come up to the bottom line, which is the incremental operating cash flow of the project. And I'll bold that because that's our correct answer. And I'll move the cursor out of the way. And so what did we do to get that? We took the incremental income after taxes and added back depreciation. And that's how we compute the operating cash flow of this tennis ball scenario. Thanks, everyone.